Well, good morning. It's day 3 of Europe Remembers on Tour, and today we are at Petersfield, and the walkers, they are ready, but they look a little bit tired. But let's see. Remy,
No, we're not.
are they tired?
I don't think so. I think we had a long day yesterday, 27 kilometers, but I think they did a great job, and we're very happy to start the day 3.
And where are we going to today?
We're going to Roland's Castle, a very important place because a lot of troops were stationed there during the preparation of D-Day. So I think we'll have a great day, great weather, and great stories again.
Who made this weather happen? Did you do that?
I call the weatherman.
But walkers, are we ready? Are we happy? Are we satisfied? Okay, good morning. We're in Gosport right now. Lawrence, what about this place?
So this was crucial for D-Day. 1943, basically, they were building a hardway. So this is a key embarkation point. About 50 of these were built along the south coast for ports, to make it really easy to get troops and tanks and vehicles and supplies onto these ships and across to Normandy for the invasion.
There was a special building, this one.
Yeah, so this was known as Moby's House, or now it's known as Moby House, built in 1909. It was basically a pub initially. 1942, it was taken over as an air-sea rescue launch for this area. 1944, though, it has a place in D-Day history, really. It becomes the command and control centre for this area in particular, and obviously has quite a key part to play in the embarkations. And it's rumoured as well that Churchill and Montgomery actually had a meeting in that house. This is the Hards being built.
This is here. This is
here, so we can go down and have a look.
So, Lawrence, this is really the place where it happened.
Yes, this is one of the key embarkation ports, or hards I should say. About 27,000 troops and 4,200 vehicles departed from Portsmouth, and it would have been one of these sort of hards where quite a lot of those men left. Interestingly, I mentioned obviously about autumn 1943, these hards were being built. It's rumoured that the rubble was brought in from destroyed buildings, so these guys have actually departed on buildings destroyed by the Luftwaffe in the Blitz. Obviously then go on to liberate Europe from the Germans. I have a few pictures, so obviously the guys embarking here.
This is really the place where we are right now.
So going on to LSTs and landing craft, ready for D-Day, and also on a more sadder note, obviously returning afterwards, because these ports and these hards were basically used for unloading the wounded post D-Day, bringing prisoners back as well. Sadly, we obviously mentioned Moby's House. The garden was used as a mortuary because obviously some of the guys that were brought back wounded from Normandy didn't actually survive the journey back. Show you.
Come on! Yeah!
Well, Lawrence, where are we now?
So we're just outside of the village of Droxford. We're looking at the former train station. It's no longer a train station, it was during the war though.
And a special train at this station, Sir Winston Churchill.
Yeah, so this obviously particular one had a particular part to play in Operation Overlord. This is where Churchill had a war cabinet meetings in the build-up to D-Day, and actually where he stayed a few days beforehand.
So this was a station?
Yeah, this was a station. Should we go and have a look?
Okay.
This is the station. Obviously now it's a private residence, so we can't go on. But during the war, like Frank Baldwin said yesterday, the railways played a crucial part. Obviously there was loads and loads of troops brought down here and disembarked. Had one of the longest sidings, I think, in the southeast, for example. It was actually chosen by Churchill and his cabinet ministers for their meeting because it had quite a lot of protection. It had quite a deep cutting, so from an aerial point of view, from the threat of the Luftwaffe, it was a little bit of extra protection rather than going one closer to Southwark House. 2nd of June, they had a war cabinet meeting here, and the villagers believe this is where the decision to delay, the first delay was made here. Whether that's true or not, I guess I can't tell you. Churchill actually stayed here for a few days during the beginning of June, and it was actually on the train here where he penned his invitation to Charles de Gaulle, the French leader, to come down and join him, to basically tell him about Operation Overlord and the future plans for the invasion, to basically bring him in on what was going on. But we're now at Grenville Hall. So back in May 1944, June 1944, this was known as Camp A9. So it housed about 1,300 men, about 190-200 vehicles. Particularly based here during May was the Royal Ulster Rifles, the 2nd Battalion. So the pictures I've got here actually are of them being inspected on the 19th of May by Field Marshal Montgomery himself. He had a bit of a soft spot for them, to be honest with you.
But this is here.
That's this house,
place.
this house. So just a few days before now, so 75 years ago.
And this picture here was also taken here.
This, I mean, I've tried to work it out.
Yeah.
I think it might be in that field down the road, but it could be, based on where the camp is on the map, it could be directly sort of behind there in the fields there as well.
The house is still here. Lawrence, where are we now?
So we're just outside Hambledon. We're up at Bury Lodge, which you can see on here was Camp A10. So there's about 1,000 men and 145 vehicles would have been stationed here in the build-up before obviously then being moved on for embarkation. We're going to have a look down there. There's some of the foundations, the brickwork where they would have built the huts on top of, like the Nissen huts.
Well, Lawrence, next stop.
Yeah, so we're at the base of Bury Lodge Camp where we've just been. Behind me in this field, it's alleged where King George, 75 years to the day, so 22nd of May 1944, inspected the troops just outside of Hambledon. Apparently gave a speech behind this tree from what I've heard from the villagers. So quite incredible really, 75 years to the day.
Lawrence, we're in the forest right now at Creeswoods. What is so specific about this place?
So this is one of the biggest marshing area camps in this area. And you can see Joel's actually found one of the slit trenches used during that time. Still remnants of it today.
Yeah, amazing. After 75 years, it's still here. Yeah, that's incredible.
So won't you please say hello to the folks that we know? Tell them I won't be low, she won't be low. They'll be happy to know that if you saw me go, I was singing this song. 'Cause I know we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again.
What is this house? Where are we now?
So Broomfield House, we're not too far away from Southwark. This was basically at the end of April, Montgomery set up his TAC HQ here as his personal mess. So he was kind of living in a sort of campsite he built outside in and around here.
And then we're here in this room.
Yeah, they were here in this room, in this very building. 19th of May, apparently Churchill got invited up. There was a bit of a set to about the ratio of frontline soldiers to support troops. And apparently invited him up, had a conversation with him, and it was in this room, his drawing room or study. Also, 22nd of May, so a year, pretty much 75 years to the day again, I say it again, that King George VI was here as well, and we can see that outside.
Lawrence, what a great day. You showed us really historical places. You told a lot of impressive stories to the hikers, and we walked all the way up and drive all the way up from London to Portsmouth. This is Portsmouth. Can you tell something about this stunning view?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? So we're looking down over the sort of historic docks and landscape of Portsmouth Harbour, etc. Well, during the 5th of June, obviously this would have been absolutely packed with ships setting off for the invasion. One of those is Ken Cook, a veteran I had the pleasure of speaking to with the 6 Green Howards. He said there's one view that sticks with him and sticks in his mind. It's basically of Portsmouth Harbour, absolutely rammed with ships. He said there were so many you could practically walk from Portsmouth to the Isle of Wight, just to give you an idea of how much was going on here at that time.
So we have one more day to go. One more day with lots of historical stories, and we're going to end at the Golden Line in the evening with a really good panel discussion. See you tomorrow.